Alright, finally, welcome back to the Flyago F-16 1/6 scale build. Alright, I moved downstairs to the office, invaded the office. A little bit smaller room, but it's a lot easier to get in and out of the house when it's assembled. So it's been about 3 weeks since I posted anything. One reason being I left the charger to my camcorder up at my in-laws house, so I just got that back today. But stopped the build right before Kentucky Jets, which was an awesome event. I went up for 2 days, met Lowell and a couple of the guys, and James from Flyago, and then tons of other people that I've met on RCU. So it's kind of good to put more faces with names. But it looked like a pretty good event. Lots of gong action. Like I said, hadn't done much lately. Still waiting on a few parts to show up, and once those are in, I should be able to finish it in about 3 or 4 days. Hoping to fly it next weekend. What I've been working on lately was I had done the fuel tanks with the stock equipment. The rubber stoppers they have are good stoppers. They're nice and big, good material for actual fuel tanks. It's kind of real pliable. So I'm going to hang on to these, probably use them for something like something else next time, either another giant plane or another jet. But I bought these metal fittings when I was up at Kentucky. Before, it would just be a rubber stopper against the Kevlar, so as you tighten down, if you tighten it too much, you could possibly crack the Kevlar or something. But I don't think it would have cracked. I was up there, they were only like $10 or so, so I went ahead and bought them anyway. Glued them in with some high saw. The holes were already perfect, it fit in perfect. Went ahead, glued in a vent line on the saddle, and the main, I'm going to run 2 vent lines on it. Probably didn't need to, but never hurts, just based on recommendations. Went back also, and where's it at? This one, oh, here it is. Went ahead and I posted some pictures earlier, but they weren't too good. I went ahead and took and re-drilled the clunks that came with the kit, put a 3/16 brass tubing in it, resoldered it, and then I took a, what was it, the 7/32 brass tubing, which slides right over the actual 3/16. Real nice. Cut a couple little slices, or actually I did like 10 of them, and basically used those slices for the new barb. So I just soldered them on at the end of the brass tubing, and then of course went back, put my 3/16 tie gun on with the, of course, wire wrap, safety wire, double looped, just like everybody says. And I'm going to use the BVM large field tubing from the main up to the UAT, and from the UAT up to the turbine. And then tie gun will be inside the tanks, and all the vent lines and all the plumbing from tank to tank. I'm going to try running 2 vent lines to the 2 saddles, and then 2 lines from the main up to one to each saddle, and then 1 vent on each main, or 1 vent on each saddle. Some people have said they may, if you don't, possibility to have one tank burn fuel more than the other, and you can end up not having having less fuel than you thought. But then I talked to people, they said it's really not that big of an issue. So what I'll do is I'll just try it this way. If I don't like it, if I have any issues with it, I can always just unplug one thing, plug it into another, and then just run it where left saddle empties first, then it goes to the right, and then it feeds into the main. So I'll try it, see what works for me. Finding out real quick that a lot of the stuff with jets, real hard to find specific things that you want, so it's just easier. I've just started making things. I got a buddy that real good with machining. He's got a lathe and a mill, and we actually made a new nose comb, or nose P-dot. I call it a P-dot because it's basically what it is on the real one, from what I understand. This is the original one. It's kind of hard to see. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, it just didn't wasn't perfect scale, and I was just trying to make a scale, and we were messing around over this house and decided to make another one. And this is the actual one we made. It's got the hole in the end of it. We had to off-center drill it due to the location of the threads here, because if we perfectly put it centered, it would actually be lower on the nose than it needed to be. The end of this one was just a little bit too wide for the width of the nose. This one actually fits perfect on there. Looks great, looks scale. We were actually looking at a picture we had of the actual jet when we made it. But that's about it. I got all the servos installed. Just kind of an update from last time. Everything's just ready to be hard mounted. You know, I took it apart just to get my tanks back out, and I'm going to go ahead and redo the tanks, put it back together, and then I'll just go ahead and hard mount the turbine and the pipe next, and then that'll just be waiting on final assembly stuff like air valves. You know, probably didn't need to, but I got a super deal on a power box. You know, everybody's going with their KISS concept, but you know, you got these products out here, might as well use them. I paid $300 for it brand new, $600 new for the power box Champion. I can run dual receivers, which I wanted to do anyways because I had 2 receivers laying around. Like I said, probably not needed, but might as well, heck with it. For the price of the regulators I was going to have and the orbit jack, as the same price as me paying for this. So got a nice deal. I got 2 lithium ions, 2 cell pack 2200s inbound from Framco, or Framico, however you say it. They'll plug right in here. Nice. They should be here hopefully tomorrow. And that is the last thing had to order. Everything else is just en route. But I'll get the tanks assembled. I got to put the ailerons back in the wings, get my rods adjusted, and I'll make a couple videos of that. But just wanted to update you guys where I was at, and we'll get back to the build. I know everybody's been kind of waiting for an update for me to get back at. I keep getting PMs, people telling me to get back to the build. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Later.